Hello everyone, coming to you from San Diego with the latest Legend House Sports quarterback breakdown. I'm your host, Jack Liebesman. Today we will evaluate the throwing biomechanics of Danny Jones. Danny was not ranked by rivals coming out of high school. He walked on for the Duke Blue Devils, started as a sophomore, and was eventually selected 6th overall by the Giants in the 2019 NFL Draft. At 6'5", 230 pounds, he has good size and above average mobility with a 4.8 40 time. I think everyone's aware that Danny has not had a great career so far and has been subjected to a lot of criticism, particularly since he signed a 4-year, $160 million contract extension with the Giants. And now he has been released by the Giants and has been signed by the Minnesota Vikings. In his defense, it's difficult to judge a quarterback who has played behind a notoriously poor offensive line. A bad offense will make even the best of quarterbacks look bad. Just look at the careers of Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and many others who suddenly played much better or worse for a new team. I mean, look at the numbers Saquon's putting up with the Eagles now that he has an O-line in front of him. Would Danny be a better quarterback if he were playing for the Eagles? Does Danny Jones have the potential to be a great quarterback? He isn't right now, so what's holding him back? Is it his decision making? Are his biomechanics the issue? Or is it the team he's playing for? I don't have all the answers to those questions, but let's take a look at his throwing biomechanics and see if they're holding him back. In this first video, Danny shows good mechanics on this short, quick throw. He separates at the midpoint, has a quick foot strike, keeps a short arm path, stays opposite and equal, has good balance and posture, and his back foot drags until the ball leaves his hand. He keeps his eyes level and his head centered, and his kinematic sequencing is good. In this video, you'll observe that Danny's biomechanics break down when he tries to generate additional velocity. Sometimes he strides too long and has a slow foot strike, which results in a long arm path and pulling the ball too far back. As you just saw earlier, when he has a quick foot strike, he doesn't have time to pull the ball back or drop it low. Instead of using his torso and hip-shoulder separation, he tends to pull the ball back and throw his head to the left to increase momentum. As I've stated in previous evaluations, 80% of your velocity should come from your torso. You will also notice that he's not opposite and equal at foot strike and has what we call a passive front side. As a result, he opens up his shoulders too early and spins off rather than staying linear to his target, and he does not release the ball in front of his lead foot. The long stride, pulling the ball back, not being opposite and equal, and not keeping his head centered can all affect kinematic sequencing along with his accuracy and release times. To summarize, Danny had solid mechanics on short throws, but often has a breakdown of his biomechanics when he tries to increase his velocity, particularly on longer throws. He basically has two different ways of throwing. Great quarterbacks tend to have consistent biomechanics on all throws, except for those off-platform. Now, imperfect biomechanics do not always cause bad throws, and from what I've observed, his protection and his decision-making have held him back more than his biomechanics. But it is no coincidence that the thrower with the purest mechanics of all time, Drew Brees, happens to be the most accurate quarterback of all time. And accurate quarterbacks have the confidence to throw the ball into tight spots. They will throw the ball to a covered receiver where only the receiver can catch it. Would better biomechanics and accuracy give him the confidence to make more throws down the field and to covered receivers? Let's just say better biomechanics wouldn't hurt. If I had the opportunity to work with him, I could quickly add velocity while improving his accuracy downfield. I would teach him several drills which would improve the use of his torso by having him rely more on his hip-shoulder separation to generate velocity. We like to say GFF, go forward fast. The quicker your feet, the quicker your release, and the less time you have to mess up. I would put him through drills that would quicken his stride and shorten his arm path on all throws. We would work on making his separation opposite and equal on all throws, while keeping his eyes level and his head over his center of gravity. But equally important to reinforcing proper mechanics is enhancing his functional strength and durability and minimizing the disparity between his accelerators and decelerators. And like every athlete I work with, I focus on the bigger picture, accelerating recovery, improving performance under pressure, managing stress and anxiety, and building a resilient, adaptable body. It's not just about excelling for the next game. It's about creating the foundation for a long, successful career. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Legend House's Quarterback Breakdown. If you are a quarterback or pitcher dedicated to taking your game to the highest possible level, feel free to reach out to me for a review. No matter where you're located, I can refine your biomechanics, improve your arm conditioning, and help you overcome injury. Danny, if you're watching and would like to talk, feel free to reach out. Or if you're an NFL coach or in the front office, feel free to reach out if you would like me to work with any of your quarterbacks, or if you would like me to conduct a pre-draft evaluation of your quarterback prospects. I can be reached at jack@legendhousesports.com, and you can connect with us on Instagram at legendhousesports. I hope you enjoyed today's quarterback breakdown, and I hope you stay tuned for more on how to train like a legend.